Go and grab your Bewears merchandise today. There are t-shirts, sweatshirts, phone cases, and more, all with the link down in the description below. You do not want to miss out. What's up, guys? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming today, and today, guys, we have our week 5. Week 5 of the PPL Pokemon Premier League. Oh, excuse me. Going up against Slyro and the Livwurmple F.C. I think that's the way it's said. He's taking over for Richie, who had some real IRL stuff going on and had to drop out of the league, but Sly stepped in. He's an old coach of the Pittsburgh Pyro and everything for the PPL in seasons back. But he decided to step in and take over the team so we could finish out the season and everything. But thanks to Slyro for doing that, and for Richie, I hope you're able to get through whatever you're doing and things like that. Hope to see you back here soon for some other league stuff. But to go over, first before we get into any team and stuff, we actually, as you can see, a little spoiler on your screen, we did make another transfer, the last transfer we can make. I know I've kind of seen transfer happen these last few weeks, but it's the last one we can make when I decided to drop Omastar, our Z user, for Garbodor. And by doing that, we do lose a Z user, but I was looking at my team, and especially against, not Richie's, but Sly's draft, and going throughout the season, I really wasn't able to use Omastar in a way that seemed really viable. It would have been, every week if I brought it, it would have been like Sash, set up hazards, and done. It wouldn't have been able to really do anything else besides that. And so with Garbodor, I decided I wanted to keep the hazard part of it, and by getting spikes and keeping spikes and T-spikes. I don't have Stealth Rock, which kind of sucks. The only mon I have that has Stealth Rock now is Dugtrio. But I get to keep the spikes and T-spike stuff, along with getting base 80 HP, 82 defense, and 82 special defense. A decent, wall. I was thinking a thing that can take most hits and can be a switch-in for us when we need it to. Also, by not having a poison type before, my team was pretty susceptible to toxic spikes. I really didn't have anything that could get rid of them. I could go into Scizor, and I would have to have Defog on Scizor if I thought that toxic spikes was going to be there. Decidueye I could have Defog on, but he would get toxic as well. So it seemed like it was a good trade-off to get a poison type who would just absorb those toxic spikes, plus pure poison, only being weak to ground and psychic. That's really not bad, as we have like Braviary and Charizard before he Mega Evolves. To dodge the ground moves, Decidueye can absorb some ground moves that aren't like super strong. And then for for psychic moves, we have Sneasel that simply comes in and says, "What the fuck you trying to do?" We got Gardevoir that can take most psychic attacks, and then also Decidueye who can revenge off those psychic kills from Gardevoir. I almost combined Garbodor and Gardevoir's name. But anyway, now we can get on with the team. Sly's draft begins with, as you can see on your screen, Tapu Bulu, Manaphy, Registeel, Goodra, Donphan, Rotom Heat, Girder, Torrentee, and Miss Magius. I did some mock battles before this because I was really worried about this matchup, because Bulu, Manaphy, Registeel, and Goodra is to me really fucking scary. And then a fucking round 8 Torrentee was taken. It was like, what the hell? No one took Torrentee and he just picked it up around 8. But again, we're facing another Girder, so another fighting type of the Conkeldurr line, so we don't want to happen what happened last time. Not gonna speak about it. But as I saw for his team, the mons that I saw definitely coming were Manaphy, Donphan, and Torn. I felt like those 3 were definitely coming. And then the other 3, I thought maybe Rotom Heat could be a decent check for Zardex. Yes, I could set up on it, but I have to try to set up on him and he can T-Wave me. Girder could be nice against my team. His fighting type kind of is really good against my stuff. And then it was like either Goodra, Miss Magius, or Registeel that I didn't know. I don't see Tapu Bulu coming whatsoever. Like, to me, my team just kind of runs through Tapu Bulu as any point. Especially with now Garbodor, why would Tapu Bulu come? But as we're going to start off with our own team here, we got Plumpy, our Garbodor. Shout out to the WW What Culture stuff for that name. Good old M. Blampier becoming Plumpy. With Black Sludge, Aftermath, Gunk Shot, Spikes, Seed Bomb, Payback, 252 on HP, 4 in attack, 188 in defense and impish nature, 60 in special defense, and then 4 in speed. The 4 in speed is basically just in case he decides to speed creep. I had 8 leftover EVs, and at level 50 for some mons, if you put 8 in them, it only counts it as 4. It's weird. So you might as well just split it up. Basically, Garbodor is our Tapu Bulu switch-in if it does come, because Garbodor can just laugh at Tapu Bulu's Warhammer. I think it does a max of 33% from Adamant Tapu Bulu. So Garbodor can simply sit in there and be like, hey, I'm, Garbodor, and if you try to hit me again, you will die from Gunk Shot. Like, I don't need any attack investment to kill Bulu for a Gunk Shot. Basically, the thing I want Garbodor to do the most is to set up spikes. Originally, I had T-spikes on here instead of Seed Bomb, but with the pickup of Girder that happened right before we were going to battle, basically in the period in between the two, I don't want T-spikes because of guts and things like that were brought up to me. So I went Seed Bomb so that we could hit Donphan, and then also if for some reason Bulu is there and he goes into Donphan expecting Gunk Shot, or he goes into anything trying to kill, or Donphan probably the best thing to kill Garbodor. If the grassy terrain is up, Earthquake is weakened, so we're not gonna get completely destroyed by Earthquake. I believe we're guaranteed not to get 2-hit KO by Earthquake. And it powers up Seed Bomb so that we can, I believe, have a pretty high chance of 2-hit KOing Donphan if it doesn't have leftovers. So it was kind of a trade-off to where Seed Bomb would seem really nice if there's grassy terrain, and if not, it's just a nice coverage move. And then I wanted to run Payback because of Miss Magius. The thing I like about Payback that I don't know many people know, it power doubles if it moves after, and usually with moves like that, you think of like Avalanche where you have to get hit or something like that. I believe those ones, or Revenge, where if you get hit, it does double damage. With Payback, all you have to do is move second. So, with Miss Magius, if he brought in Miss Magius on me and then me trying to scare me from a Psychic and decides to set up, even though he set up and didn't hit me, I'm still moving second, and I do massive damage. I think it's like 80 to 90 to uninvested HP Miss Magius. So I would completely take that Miss Magius out of the game and where it can get revenge kill later on if he decided to set up on me. And if he overpredicts and hits me with the Shadow Ball, I can take that and then pay back and do hella damage. So that's what Garbodor's really here to do, kind of be a little bit of a wall breaker, but mainly just try to set up spikes and keep those up, and then hit things as hard as we can just to break them down a little bit over the course of the game. Next we have Rocky Maivia, our Decidueye with Muscle Band, a cool item that hasn't been used often. Overgrow, Leaf Blade, Spirit Shackle, Sucker Punch, and Roost. Max HP, max attack, Adamant this week, with another 4 in speed. Basically just so, if he does try to creep us with anything, we can have the extra 4 in speed. But basically this Decidueye is one thing and one thing only that his job is supposed to do. If I can bring Decidueye in on, say, Manaphy that hasn't set up yet, or Donphan, and scare that thing out, I go for Spirit Shackle, and then I lures in Tornadus T. So Tornadus Therian, this is the lure for that, because the Spirit Shackle Sucker Punch combo does with like both of them, I believe at min rolls, does like 87%, like min rolls. So like if I get even mid rolls or 1 max 1 mid, I should be able to, with Spirit Shackle and Sucker Punch combo, killed off Torn T. Now he could have taunt my Sucker Punch, but at the same time, if he's bringing Torn on Decidueye, he knows, Sly knows all about my baton passing shenanigans. So even if I lock him in with Spirit Shackle, he may think I'm going to try to hard switch out, and so he's going to try to U-turn out as well to get out of that. Or he's going to try to just get heavy damage on whatever I try to hard switch into. So clicking Sucker Punch that turn really seems really nice for me. And then I have Roost just to be able to get health back later on if I want to keep Decidueye around. He does really kind of threaten Manaphy before it's set up, especially if it's Manaphy that is like Z Rain Dance Manaphy, or just straight up Tail Glow Manaphy, because I can Leaf Blade once, and then after the Leaf Blade, if he doesn't have that much HP investment, Sucker Punch will kill. Like, I don't believe Leaf Blade guarantees kill, but Leaf Blade Sucker Punch will kill the Manaphy. That's what Decidueye is here to do, Leaf Blade Sucker Punch things. And then Spirit Shackle, the biggest thing I want Decidueye to do again is lure that Torn in and lock it down, Sucker Punch it, get that thing out of there by Decidueye's hands rather than something else. Next up, we have Jushin, our Jolteon, with Toy Scarf this time, with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Shadow Ball, 68 in HP, 252 in Special Attack, and then 188 Timid Nature in Speed. I believe that gets us to be able to outspeed Scarf Torn. I believe that's who we were going with. So we outspeed everything on his team, including other Scarfers. With Jolteon, the only thing I don't think anything on his team gets agility, so we're not even worried about that. But really, Jolteon here is our revenge killer in this match. Is our dedicated revenge killer. As I can volt once Donphan is gone, I can volt switch around. I actually am planning on leading Jolteon as well, because I could see him leading with Torn pretty easily, and then getting it off a good hidden power ice on a Donphan switch in and break that Donphan sturdy turn 1. Even though Donphan at that point might be able to get a Stealth Rock up, because I don't believe this hidden power ice guarantees a 2-shot on max HP, a little bit of special defense Donphan. But it's still going to do a heavy damage to that Donphan, and then I can go out into Decidueye on the setup of rocks, lure in Torn again, and do what Decidueye needs to do. And then once Donphan is out of the way, Jolteon's free to Volt Switch around, force switches, Volt Switch, and get us into a better, higher momentum and a better position. And then Shadow Ball and T-Bolt can hopefully finish off things with Choice Scarf. Shadow Ball is really for Miss Magius. If he decides to run Scarf Magius, I can scare that. And it gives me something to hit neutrally on Registeel. If he brings it, you know, it's just something that can hit neutrally to the rest of his team that maybe Thunderbolt or Hidden Power Ice can't cover. And then if I really can't cover it with anything, I'm going to quick Volt Switch and get the fuck out of there anyway. So that's really what here Jolteon is for. Next, we have Ric Flair, our Sneasel with Life Orb, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Knockoff, and Punishment. 116 in HP, 252 in attack, and then 140 and Jolly in speed. Basically, this Sneasel has two different jobs, and the first one, probably the most important job, is the Punishment, because basically it's to stop an out-of-control Manaphy. A Tail Glow setup, or like a Calm Minding Manaphy, if it's Z Rain Dance Manaphy and the Rain Dance is over. Basically, if Manaphy is set up to +3, Punishment does I think like 86 to 90%. Like, it's fucking huge damage with Punishment to that Manaphy. And yes, I might lose Sneasel in the process, but then I can go into something else and take it out. If he has that little bit of chip damage, hopefully from the Garbodor spikes, Punishment just one-shots. If he's set up to +6 with Tail Glow, Punishment one-shots. Like, that's really what Sneasel is here for. He might think I was gonna like knock off or something and be fine with the Manaphy because he's like at higher HP, and then Punishment comes out and just destroys him. That's what the Sneasel is kind of here for. The first and probably most important job is to stop any setup users. The second thing is really to check Bulu as an offensive check with Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, because no matter what Bulu, I believe I have this speed to outspeed Scarf Bulu and to outspeed max speed Timid Manaphy. I believe I can do both of those with this speed and quick Icicle Crash on them. And then Knockoff is just nice to be able to knock off the Girders, Eviolite, knock off anything the Goodra has, or Rotom for any, any healing items they might have. Knock off an AV off a Torn would be really nice so Jolteon can pick it off. Knock off a Life Orb or Scarf from Miss Magius if I can. Basically, just overall, Knockoff is the better Dark move to quick if they have like anything that's resistant to ice. But Punishment is for the stopping of uncontrolled Manaphy, because Manaphy can get out of control. I know this, so I have to have something to stop that more than just Jolteon, because Jolteon might not be able to one-shot it with T-Bolt depending on the HP investment. Meanwhile, Punishment can completely do that. Next, we have Mojo Raleigh, our Charizard X. We've not been doing that well with Zardex, and I decided this one to just kind of go with a standard Zardex here. Not trying to do too much fancy stuff. Dragon Dance, Roost, Dragon Claw, and Flare Blitz, max attack, 4 in defense, and then max speed Jolly, basically so that we speed tie with Manaphy. Because of Manaphy, I really don't want to I don't feel like I want to run a bulkier set. Like, I'm still getting 2-hit KO'd by Surf anyway, and if I'm in the rain, I'm still getting beat by it, whether I go a decent amount of HP investment and try to speed creep something. So I figured I might as well just go balls to the wall with Charizard. If I can get a D-Dance up, I will be able to do hell a lot to the majority of his team. The only thing that will outspeed me, the only two things that will outspeed me after a D-Dance would be Scarf Torn or Scarf Miss Magius, and after 2 D-Dances, neither one will. And then if I get 2 D-Dances up, everything dies to Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz as well. The thing I'm looking to really looking to set up on is Registeel completely, and honestly, a little bit of Torn. Like, Torn is like, it's one of those mons that can hit me pretty hard, but if I have it, if like, I might scare it more than it'll scare me for trying to hit me. Goodra, I don't really want to see Goodra if it is like gooey set Goodra, because that can kind of hurt me a little bit. But again, if I'm at +1, I can, and he doesn't have Scarf Magius, I can still do things. If I'm at -1, I gotta switch out. Like, it's one of those, I didn't mean to right click, but it's one of those things where like I have to switch out if he is gooey Goodra. So Zardax is here to hopefully get a setup and then win. Or if I have to, just click moves to damage and then come in late and win. Roost, again, nice health, especially because he has the Donphan. I'm pretty sure he's going to have Rock set up, and because I don't have Defog on Decidueye, I need Roost just to be able to live that one turn of switching in as a regular Charizard if there are rocks up. So I need that. Last, I have Alexa Bliss. I messed up in nicknaming this Gardevoir. It's supposed to be Sister Abigail, I know, but I didn't. I had it originally in this slot in Milotic, and then after doing a few mocks, we reworked the team, and I just forgot to like do the nickname. I just put the nickname in out of like just autopilot. So Gardevoir is taking Alexa Bliss, you know, becoming Alexa Bliss this week with Leftovers, Trace, Moonblast, Wish, Taunt, Protect, with 196 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 60 in speed and Timid. Basically, the reason is he has two things that don't like to see Moonblast, and that's Registeel and Rotom Heat. Everything else on his team does not like Moonblast. Like, even Tapu Bulu does not like Moonblast as much, and if it is like a Leech Seeding Bulu, I can taunt it. I can taunt Registeel or Donphan to try to stop Rock setup, and I can Wish Pass into Charizard if I've already had to bring him in once on the rocks. I can Wish Pass into anything else to heal them up, or to get, like, say, Garbodor in, take the hit, get the Wish to get his health back to full, keep Garbodor really healthy, because he could do a lot this match. But that's really what Gardevoir's here to do, and then if I need to, honestly, if I need to sack something off, I can sack off Gardevoir. It's something like that, to where Gardevoir is here to just kind of help the team out as a whole, and then if I need to click an attack move, Moonblast will do the job. Even against Rotom Heat, especially if he clicks Overheat, I can take Overheat very, very, very nicely, and so as long as he's not like Specs. But then I can Moonblast, and if he stays in and I Moonblast, and then he gets another Spadef drop, or a special attack drop, he's now at -3 special attack, which is really a great thing that Gardevoir could do with Moonblast for us. And if Manaphy decides to switch in and I get special attack drop on Manaphy, that's great. It means I can toss up a Wish on his setting up. I can or I can taunt him that next turn so he can't reset up to try to get that special attack boost back up. If he hits me, fine. I Wish, Protect, boom, go battle with Gardevoir. Gardevoir can do some annoying things this match, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. But the battle, I know this got up a little later today compared to other team builders and stuff, but you know, life happens. But the battle will be coming out tomorrow, hopefully around, I believe, 1 Eastern. That's what I'm going to aim for, is 1 Eastern time. And hopefully you guys are able to see that battle and stuff. It'll be very nice. If you're here from the battle, go ahead and go back to it, because that's all we got to say about the team. But again, if you guys are wanting to be part of the PPL Discord's fan server and stuff, a link is in the description below. You can be part of the Chicago Bewears team there. You can also be part of the Chicago Bewears by ordering any t-shirts, mugs, phone cases, other stuff that you saw in the beginning of this video, that little promo in the beginning. Link will be down below as well as links to all the other PPL coaches. Go check their stuff out. I believe D1 does stuff for like Sundays and Mondays, for team builders on Sundays, games on Mondays, and then we do stuff team builders on Tuesdays, games on Wednesdays for D2. So all the links for all of them are down below as well. Go check that stuff out. All really good battlers and really good stuff coming out for you guys. So without any further ado, I'm gonna get up out of here. So thank you guys for coming out. I'm Carson, this is Toxic Gaming, and as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.